Wake up. You are being lied to by a mission. While you are busy arguing over politics or scrolling through endless distractions, the global financial plumbing is being rerouted right under your feet. Silver isn't just some shiny metal for jewelry, it is the most suppressed, manipulated, and soon-to-be explosive asset in the history of the modern market. You are literally bleeding wealth and purchasing power. Every single day you do not understand what I am about to tell you. This is not a theory, this is not a guess, this is hard math. If you are not paying attention to this specific shift, and you are choosing to be a victim of a system that is designed to keep you at the bottom, listen to me very carefully because I am only going to say this once. If you are watching this right now and you have not subscribed to Wealth Strategy Room, you are making a conscious decision to stay broke. You are actively ignoring high-level insights and you are failing your family's financial future by not hitting that subscribe button and engaging with this video right now. You are telling the world that you do not want to win. The winners are already in the Wealth Strategy Room community taking action while you are sitting there hesitating like a loser. Subscribe right now or just admit that you are comfortable losing everything you have worked for. There is a massive, quiet rule change happening in the precious metals market right now that is about to send silver into a vertical ascent that will leave the skeptics in the dust. The institutions know it, and the central banks are already moving their chips. They are not going to tell you because they need you to stay asleep. I am about to reveal the one regulatory shift that makes the current price of silver a total impossibility. This is the secret that changes the game forever. You think silver is just a commodity. You think it trades on supply and demand like corn or oil. You are completely wrong. The price you see on your screen right now is a total illusion. It is a fabricated number designed to keep a lid on the real value of hard assets. Let me break down the absolute foundational truth that Wall Street prays you never figure out. The silver market is the most heavily shorted market on the planet. For decades, massive financial institutions have been selling paper silver they do not even own. They print contracts out of thin air to flood the market and artificially crush the price. They trade paper derivatives back and forth to create the illusion of massive supply. It is a rigged game and you are the mark, but the physics of the real world are finally catching up to their paper games. Look around you. Everything that defines the modern economy requires silver. Electric vehicles require massive amounts of silver. Solar panels demand huge quantities of silver. Medical equipment, military technology, supercomputers, it all needs this specific metal because it is the most electrically conductive element on Earth. There is no substitute. Zero, and here is the brutal reality. We are running out of the easily accessible stuff. The above-ground stockpiles are being depleted at a staggering rate to feed the industrial machine. We are consuming hundreds of millions of ounces more than we are mining out of the ground every single year. You do not need a degree in economics to understand what happens when finite supply meets exploding industrial demand. Prices must rise, but they have not. Why? Because of the paper market manipulation I just told you about. The big banks have been capping the price to protect their massive short positions. They have been playing musical chairs with paper contracts, assuming the music will never stop, but the music is stopping right now. The physical reality is detaching from the paper illusion. Industry needs the actual physical metal, not a digital promise on a screen. Unallocated simply means paper. It means fake metal. Under the new strict rules, this paper metal is heavily penalized as a toxic liability. It is no longer treated as a safe asset on their balance sheets. This forces the massive corrupt institutions to physically back their massive short positions or get out of the rigged market entirely. They are scrambling in the dark right now. They are desperately trying to unwind decades of illegal price manipulation without blowing up the entire global financial system. But the cold hard math does not lie, and the math does not ever forgive. There is simply not enough physical silver sitting above ground in vaults to cover the massive tangled web of fraudulent paper contracts they have written when the industrial giants who desperately need this metal to manufacture their computer chips, solar panels, and electric cars suddenly realize the big banks cannot actually deliver the physical product. They will panic buy everything in sight. They will stockpile at any cost. The coming short squeeze will be mathematically exponential. Here is the turning point that the mainstream media is too terrified to report. The big secret is the death of the fractional reserve silver system. For decades, the global bullion banks have operated on a lie. They sold the same ounce of silver to 100 different people. They called it unallocated silver. It was convenient, it was profitable, and it was a total scam. But the quiet rule change I mentioned, that is the kill shot. Global regulators have finally realized that having hundreds of trillions of dollars in paper derivatives backed by nothing but a prayer is a systemic risk that could topple the entire world economy. They are changing the rules to force these banks to actually hold the physical metal they claim to have. And this is the end of the line for the paper manipulators. So when these rules go into full effect, the banks are required to have nearly 100% physical backing for their precious metal positions. Think about the math there. If you have sold 100 ounces of silver on paper, but you only own 1 ounce in the vault, you have a massive problem. You have to go into the open market and buy 99 more ounces of physical silver immediately to comply with the law. Now multiply that by every major bank on Wall Street and in London. We are talking about a mandatory, legally enforced buying spree of billions of ounces of silver in a market that only produces about 800 million ounces a year. This is the hidden mechanic that is about to snap the price of silver like a dry twig, and it is already starting. Look at the inventories at the COMEX and the London Bullion Market Association. The registered silver stocks are plummeting to multi-decade lows. The smart money is standing in line at the delivery window, and they are demanding their physical metal. They are no longer accepting a cash settlement. They want the bars, they want the weight, they want the real asset because they know the paper is going to zero. This is the turning point, the moment when the paper market and the physical market finally divorce. For years, the paper price has dragged the physical price down. Now the physical shortage is going to drag the paper market into a total default. The manufacturers are the ones who will pull the trigger. Apple, Tesla, Samsung, these companies cannot function without silver. If they cannot get the metal, their production lines stop. If their production lines stop, their stock prices crash. They will not let that happen. They will pay $50, $100, $500 an ounce just to secure the supply they need to stay. In business, they do not care about the spot price. They care about survival. This is the secret that the big banks are trying to hide as they quietly cover their positions. They are trying to exit the room before the fire starts, but the door is locked and the room is already full of smoke. You are standing right next to the exit. You just have to be smart enough to walk through it before the stampede begins. Most of you are going to watch this video and do absolutely nothing. That is why you are average. That is why you will always be chasing the crumbs that the big players leave behind. The average person waits for a consensus. They wait for their brother-in-law or some talking head on a cable news network to give them the green light. By the time the news is mainstream, the money has already been made. You are currently obsessed with the latest tech bubble or whatever speculative garbage is trending on social media. You are looking for the shiny object while ignoring the fundamental foundation of the entire industrial world. You think you have time to wait and see. You think the market will give you a polite invitation to enter before it gaps up 50%. It will not. The market is a cold-blooded machine that punishes hesitation and rewards conviction. Let me be blunt. If you are sitting here absorbing this level of insight and you still have not subscribed to Wealth Strategy Room, you are actively sabotaging your own life. You are literally watching your family's future wealth evaporate through your own indecision. Every second you spend not being part of the Wealth Strategy Room community is a second you are choosing to stay ignorant and broke, and the high-level winners who are already in the Wealth Strategy Room are taking massive action right now. They are positioning themselves and they are executing the plan. They are getting ready to reap the rewards of the greatest and industrial squeeze in history. Meanwhile, you are just a spectator and you are a tourist. So if you do not hit that subscribe button right now and join the winners, you are effectively telling your children that you did not care enough about their future to click a mouse. You are deciding right now that you would rather be right in your skepticism than be rich in reality. This is your wake-up call. Subscribe to Wealth Strategy Room immediately or admit that. And you have already given up on your financial goals. The average person fails because they think they are smarter than the math. They see silver sitting at a stagnant price and they think it means nothing is happening. They do not understand that price is the last thing to change. Sentiment changes first. Regulation changes second. Supply disappears third. And then, only when there is nothing left to buy, the price explodes. The wealthy understand this sequence. They buy the silence. They buy the boredom. They buy when the average person is distracted by the noise. Right now, the noise is everywhere, and the silence in the silver market is deafening. You are making the classic mistake of confusing a suppressed price with a lack of value. You are letting the manipulators win by letting them convince you that silver is a relic of the past. It is the metal of the future, and while you hesitate, the available physical supply is being swallowed up by those who actually understand how the world works. Stop being part of the herd. Start thinking like an owner. Enough talk. It is time for you to execute. If you are sitting on a pile of cash or a portfolio full of paper promises, you are holding a bag of hot air. Here is exactly what you need to do right now to position yourself on the right side of this wealth transfer. First, look at your brokerage account. If you own the big silver ETFs, sell them. Most of those funds are just accounting tricks. They do not give you the right to take delivery of the physical metal. They are just another layer of the paper manipulation machine. You are paying them a fee to help them suppress the price of the asset you think you own. It is a joke. Exit those positions today and move that capital into physical metal or companies that actually pull the stuff out of the ground. Second, you need to acquire physical silver. I am talking about bars and coins you can actually hold. If you do not have it in your possession or in a secure private vault that is outside the banking system, you do not own it. You have a claim on someone else's inventory. And in a crisis, those claims will be settled in depreciating cash, not the metal you need. Buy junk silver, buy 100-ounce bars, buy whatever you can find that has a low premium. Do not wait for a dip. The dip is happening right now because the price is fake. When the real price discovery starts, there will be no silver left at the retail level. This is the moment where you stop being a consumer and you start being a custodian of your own future. Third, if you want massive leverage, look at the mining stocks, but be smart. Do not buy the speculative garbage. Look for the producers with high-grade silver and zero debt. These companies are the ultimate leverage. Their cost to get an ounce out of the ground might be $20. If silver goes to 100, their profit margins do not just go up, they explode. You are buying a business that produces the most essential industrial metal on the planet. This is how you turn a modest investment into generational wealth. You are not just buying a stock. You are buying a machine that prints the only real money left. Fourth, you need to change your mindset about liquidity. People are afraid of silver because they cannot spend it at the grocery store. Wake up, and we are talking about preserving your wealth through a systemic collapse. You do not buy silver to trade it for more paper currency. You buy silver to have the ultimate bargaining chip when the paper currency fails. You are trading a liability for an asset. Do not hesitate. Do not overthink it. The institutions are already moving. The windows are closing. Every day you wait is a day the premium goes up and the available supply goes down. You have the information, you have the roadmap, and now you either have the guts to act or you deserve to be left behind. I do not want to hear your excuses about why it is hard to find or why the fees are high. The cost of being wrong is total financial ruin. The cost of being right is total financial freedom. Pick one and act on it today. The biggest trap you're going to fall into is your own ego. You think you can time this perfectly. You think you can wait for one more red day on the chart to save a few pennies. Meanwhile, the vault doors are slamming shut. Let me tell you about the traps the industry has set for you. The first is the psychological trap of the spot price. They keep the spot price low to make you think silver is a dead asset. It is a decoy. It is a shiny lure designed to keep you from looking at the physical drainage. If you base your decisions on the manipulated ticker on a website, you have already lost. You are playing their game on their turf with their rules. The ticker is a lie. The inventory is the truth. The second trap is the counterparty risk. Everyone is going to try to sell you a shortcut. They will offer you silver certificates, unallocated accounts, or fancy digital tokens that claim to be as good as gold. They are lying to your face in a real liquidity crisis, which is exactly where we are headed. Those digital promises will be settled for pennies on the dollar in a currency that is worth nothing. And if you cannot drop it on your foot and feel the weight, you do not own it. This is the hardest lesson for the average investor to learn because they are addicted to the convenience of their smartphone apps. Real wealth is not convenient. Real wealth is heavy. Real wealth is private. Look at me. If you have made it this far and you still have not subscribed to Wealth Strategy Room, I am honestly questioning your intelligence. I am questioning your dedication to your own success and the safety of your family. By refusing to join the Wealth Strategy Room community and engage with this content, you are essentially betting against yourself. You are telling me that you prefer the comfort of the lie over the reality of the profit. You are actively choosing to ignore the highest level of financial intelligence available to the public. If you do not hit subscribe right now, you are admitting that you want to stay exactly where you are. You are choosing to be the person who watches other people get rich while you complain about the system. You are choosing to be the person who lets their families struggle because you were too arrogant to click a button. The winners in the Wealth Strategy Room are already moving. They are already securing their positions while you are frozen in indecision. Subscribe right now or stop pretending that you want to be a winner. The final warning is this. The rule change is not a suggestion. It is a structural shift in the global financial architecture. Once the regulatory hammer falls, the price of silver will not go up in a straight line. It will gap. It will open at $50 and by lunch it will be at $70. You will not be able to buy it. The retail websites will show out of stock. The local dealers will have lines around the block and zero inventory. The trap is thinking that the door will always be open. It will not. The exit from the burning building of the Fiat system is narrow, and the crowd is starting to wake up. Avoid the trap of the herd. Avoid the trap of the delay. This is the moment where the winners are separated from the losers by a single act of conviction. Do not be the person who looks back 5 years from now and talks about how they almost bought silver when it was cheap. Nobody cares about what you almost did. They care about what you actually did. You have the facts, you have the warning, and now you have a choice. You can be the predator or you can be the prey. The clock is ticking and the physical metal is disappearing. What are you going to do about it? Stop scrolling, stop researching, stop watching endless videos looking for someone to give you permission to be wealthy. The time for theory is completely over. We are in the execution phase right now, and the window of opportunity is slamming shut. You have the facts, you know the exact mechanics of the rigged system and the quiet rule change that is about to tear it apart. Now, the only variable left in this equation is your personal courage. Are you going to take control of your financial destiny, or are you going to let the institutions rob you blind while you sit on your hands? If you close this video and do nothing, you deserve exactly what is coming to you. A life of playing catch up while your purchasing power burns to the ground. Get off YouTube, get off your couch, go secure your physical assets, go buy the producers, move your capital out of the paper illusion and into hard reality before the rest of the world wakes up. The game is shifting. The winners are executing. Be a winner. Get to work.